Good morning. Good evening. Can everyone hear me okay? Hi, welcome to the seminar. We can use the chat to communicate, if that's okay with everybody. Is everyone hearing me okay? Let me just see.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get this rolling then. Welcome everyone to this little talk of that I started about Markham and Markham Real Estate. Markham is currently the city that I'm living in right now, and I love the city. I love the city so much to a point where I really want some new neighbors. So, one of the reasons why I started this seminar is because Markham has some very good opportunity, especially during a pandemic like this. Markham doesn't get hit as hard as I believe some of the other parts of Toronto. And I want to share with you my experience and my take on the Markham market and the Markham real estate. Well, long story short, here's a little bit about myself. My name is Frank, and typical Asian UFT economics major. I have 10 years of experience in the housing industry, working along with my dad, and he's a master contractor, independent contractor in the Toronto area for about 20 years now. He had the engineering degree, came here to Canada for my sister and I, and we have been in the housing industry for 2 decades, a good solid 2 decades. A few years back, we decided, you know what, let's scratch each other's back. If I get into real estate and you're in construction, maybe we can refer business to each other. Sounds like a good plan, and that's how it started. And eventually what I want to do is I want to build houses. I want to build a lot of affordable housing for people, because Toronto is getting ridiculously expensive, isn't it? And I see that there is a niche out there. Definitely there is a need for people to become a little bit more innovative and a little bit more creative when it comes down to providing affordable housing. And currently I'm with Riffle Holding Group. I'm a real estate agent, and it's a good way for me to get deeper into my goal of building homes. There's a disclaimer. Whatever that I'm presenting to you today is just my opinion. It doesn't represent my brokerage. It doesn't represent any other professional. And the presentation is intended for educational purpose only, and it does not replace any independent professional judgment. Now, before we get the party started, the first question to ask is, how is your credit score? Anyone? Well, today I was just talking with a client of mine who I'm looking at some downtown real estate for, and she has a high score of 784. Not bad. Yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine. She has 800 plus credit score. Very, very good. We're doing very good here. Now, what about the rest of Canada, and how is everybody doing here? Can you see this chart okay? As you can see, if you have a credit score of 760 and over, you're considered excellent. Meaning that if you walk into a bank, you're guaranteed to get the best interest rates possible. And this consisted of 57% of the population. The other 14% is between 725 to 759, and this is another 15% of the 14% of the population. So that alone contribute to around 71%. So 7 out of 10 of Canadians are doing okay and doing very, very good, matter of fact. The other 3 are in between, anywhere from 500s to maybe lower to the point of 724. So you can measure yourself in here. What does the credit score consist of? Here's the breakdown of the structure of the score. 35% of your credit score is actually made up with payment history. Did you ever, have any late payment, or as you can see here on the top of the chart? I don't know if you can see my mouse. Probably not then. If you can see up here in the chart, if you have 100% payment history, meaning that you've never missed a payment, you are in good hand. If you miss one payment, that one payment might stay in your record for 7 years. Now, second biggest chunk is use of credit or available credit. The ratio between how much credit limits that you are giving and how much money that you actually borrow. And that consists of 30% of your credit score. The other 15% is credit history. How long have you had that credit account, like a credit card? If you have held a credit card since you're 18 and you're 28 now, you have 10 years of credit history. That's excellent, as you can see on this chart. Feel free to take a picture of this chart. This chart is very useful. The other 10% is public record. Did you ever have any bankruptcy? Did you have any legal issues pinned against your profile? If you do have that, that's 10%. And the other 10% is inquiry. When you go out there and apply for a credit card or apply for a loan, a car loan or mortgage loan, that is 10%. No, that is considered an inquiry. And when the bank or when a company looks into your credit score, when they do the application, it's considered one hard inquiry. Now, how to increase your credit score? The key here is obviously late payment will stay in your account, in your profile for 7 years. So never, never, never miss a late payment. 30 days later is considered a late payment. If it drags on a little bit to 90 days plus, that's a bad news. If you do that, 3 months without paying your mortgage, you can lose your house and lose your mortgage. After 180 days, it went into collection, which is another chunk that will damage your credit profile very, very dramatically. Now, what happened? How can I fix it? How can I start fixing it? We can start doing that by finding out where and what those dark, bad spot is. What are hurting you? Do you know what is hurting you right now on your credit? Maybe a late payment, maybe like a utility bill that you haven't paid in the past, and from your previous address. And when you moved, you didn't get any mail. Then it could haunt you from your last residence that you used to live in. So find out where they are, but don't let it creep on you. Another thing, obviously, what you can do is we can actually call in to the credit bureau to do a formal credit repair or dispute of accuracy of information. And when you do that, I did it for myself, because once I received a credit card membership fees that I saw that was like completely out of ratio. It's just ridiculous. So I went in, I said, you know what, I'm going to cancel the card. Went into the credit repair and say, hey, I didn't know this is creeping up on me. Can you take it out? I mailed it in. I printed out a formal letter of dispute. And then I sent it to the credit bureau, and within about 5 days, I got my score repaired. So it's not the end of the world. You can actually get your credit score back if you screw up a little bit. And at the end of the day, you can even negotiate payment plans, because at the end of the day, you know, people that lend you the money, the lender, what they really want is just they want their money back. So, you know, everything is in terms and conditions. We can definitely negotiate. There's always room. Don't think that everything is black and white. So the key here is when you're negotiating, be polite and speak really, really nicely. Another thing to help with your credit score is don't max out your credit card, because your used credit ratio takes 30%. There's a big chunk. It's 30% of your credit score, and there is a gray zone though to to help with your situation. If you are someone that is maxing out your credit card, if you don't have a very high limit, number one, I would suggest you to go to the bank, go to your credit card and ask for a credit increase. Now, when you ask for a credit increase, they may or may not give it to you. If the bank give it to you right away, that means that, you know, you're a pretty good, you know, customer. If the bank doesn't give it to you right away and they say that, oh, sorry, we have to, you know, submit a formal application to increase your credit limit, that might be a hard inquiry. And what a hard inquiry is an organization, a bank, or whatever creditor, a lender will need to peek into your credit profile. And when that happens, it takes a little bit, it takes a little bit off your credit score. How much? 2 to 3 points sometimes here and there. Not that big of a deal, but you know, if in the next 3 months you are planning to make a big move in life, if you're trying to buy a house or get a car or get a big car loan, then I suggest you not to do that. Now, there's other things. Okay, take a look at an example here. If you have one credit card of $1,000 limits, which doesn't apply to most of us, maybe if you're still a student, this might apply to you. If you have one credit card with $1,000 limits and you use 1,000 of it, what is it? Your credit utilization here is 100%, right? Now, if you're stretching out to 100% usage, that means bad. But you know, there are situations where we can lower it. And how do we lower it? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm teaching you guys that. Sometimes the best way to start to lower that ratio is to apply more credit cards and open more credit accounts. So, but you do that if you are a responsible spender, okay? Don't max out one car and go out there and then max out another car. In this case, if you really, you know, are in need of money, then, you know, apply for more credit, credit card or line of credit right away. When they approve, it will change the ratio on your oh, sorry. If anyone is typing in the chat now, I won't be able to read it. Maybe Gabe or Nadia can help me to read it and pass it to me on Facebook now. Well, anyways, sorry. So in this case, if you have 2 or more credit cards or line of credit with a $10,000 limit, and $1,000 is what you use, guess what happened? This is only 10% utilization. And because you're in that excellent range of credit utilization, your credit score will start to climb up a little by little by being a good trooper. And the bottom line is the bank does not care how much money that you borrow from them. What they care about is how much that you have borrowed with respect to how much credit limits that you actually have. So the more available limit that you have, the better you look, the better your financial situation look to them. So also sometimes that when you might receive some junk mail here and there saying that, hey, this is TD calling. Frank, you are qualified. You have been pre-qualified to open up a new credit card, and this is this is the interest rate, and it's a great offer. I used to make a mistake of tossing all those letters out like there was no tomorrow. I was thinking to myself, I can barely manage to pay off this one. How the heck am I gonna pay off a new one? So no, thank you. I tossed it away. Now, after I learned about the trick, I mean the nature of how credit score works. Oh man, I wish I didn't throw them in the garbage bin. And I would suggest you to look out if any letter from the bank are giving you any offer, they're offering you. That means that it is not a hard inquiry when they give you that limit increase, when they give you that new credit card. It does not hurt your credit score. So when you see those offering letter, take them. Now, City of Markham, wow, this is exciting time. Markham has a population of 330,000 now today, maybe a little bit more. Amongst the GTA, it is the fourth largest city or region here, covering approximately 212 kilometers square. What's special about Markham is there's 1,000 plus IT and life science based companies and that had their headquarters held in Markham. And it's a very exciting city with a lot of job opportunity, a lot of high paying jobs too. IT jobs, science job, medical equipment, you name it. They probably have it. Some of the top Fortune 500 employers are IBM. Matter of fact, both of IBM's office and headquarters are in Markham. There are two. Oracle, Motorola, Johnson & Johnson, Honda, Hyundai, Toyota Financial Services, Huawei, Honeywell, and Toshiba. They all have their offices here in Markham. It's a very multicultural and very popular residential choice. And this is a map of Markham. Yeah, you can, hold on. Let me see if I can move my cursor around. Can you see my mouse okay? So this is the boundary of Markham. You know what? Forget it. How to set the boundary is anywhere that is north of Steeles Avenue and east of the Highway 404 is considered Markham. So Steeles Avenue, some of the most popular places that you can, right away that you know that people talk about Steeles Avenue is Bad Road and also the infamous Pacific Mall. Now the house prices in Markham, this is the average. I just looked at it last night, so this is fresh. This is as of April 2020. The two-story detached are $1.225 million a piece now on average. So a detached home. A one-story detached, like a bungalow, is 1.178. A two-story attached, meaning that it's semi-detached, what we call it semi-detached. Semi-detached, the average price is around 853 in this case. Townhouses, 657. And the apartment condos, they are on average about $595 a piece. The new development townhomes, they are pricing at anywhere between $770,000 to $870,000 for a new townhouse freehold. Now, some of the cheaper townhouse, the ones that are in the 650 range or lower, some of them are not freehold. They are condo townhouse, meaning that when you live in there, you actually have to pay management fees every month, just like a condominium. That's why they are called condo townhouse with a management office and probably some facility recreation center type of thing that your management fees is contributing to. Now let's look at the Toronto's market today. What is happening, just like my last talk, Toronto, as of today, condo has snows down significantly due to the fact that borrowing money has become a little bit more easier. The banks becomes a little bit more linear, and when people can borrow money a little bit, easier, they tend to want to, choose the bigger house or bigger size option, which is townhouse to begin with. Because just like the last chart we see here, apartment is $595 and a townhouse is only $60,000 more. So a lot of people would be start to consider about townhouses. Detached homes now, the detached home below $1.4 million is, I wouldn't say they are growing in prices, but they are doing okay. They are not dropping in prices. Prices will increase very, very little, but they are the okay group. $1.4 million and above, the detached, they are taking a bigger hit in this economic condition. Now, the townhouse is very, very heated. Townhouse now is very, very popular, item for a lot of buyers. And if you have a real estate agent and you ask and townhouse is what you're getting into or what you want to buy, and your real estate agent is working really hard for you, but he or she can't find you anything, that's because the competition out there in the townhouse field is so ridiculous. It's so hard. It's been heated for the past 6 months. It's gonna continue to go because townhouse is almost like a house as much as 2,000 square feet in size, but it's normally about only 75% the cost of a detached homes. Now, pre-construction townhouse is very, very popular too. I have so many stories that I can tell you, or I don't want to do that. I can tell you in a. It's all about competition and war. And during the COVID-19, the whole Toronto real estate market definitely cools down a lot. In my opinion, houses in general, the price might decline a little bit. But I don't want to get into detail. Let's continue. And yes, it might decline a little bit, but it will bounce back eventually. A lot of the time when I look at real estate and the real estate market and try to predict the future, I will number one look at Vancouver. Whatever that hits the Canadian real estate market, Vancouver always gets hit first. I will look at Vancouver's real estate market and get some article reading happening over there, and I also would look at the cities that has recovered from the COVID-19, and in this case, it would be a few major cities in China. The Shanghai, the Beijing, the Guangzhou, the Shenzhen, those and Hong Kong, those cities, we gotta look at it and see what's going on there, and it's a good indication of human behavior. How would people act or react after walking out of this crisis or at the tail end of this crisis? Now, another thing that I want to get into is, who live in Markham? Look at this. The median age of residents is around 41 years old, and 90% of it are Canadian citizens. The highest visible minority is 72.3%. The city of Markham has the highest rate of multiculturalism, I should say, 72.3%. And the breakdown of the citizens that live in, or the residents that live in Markham. As you can see here, 40% are East Asian, 27% white, 19% South Asian, 4% Southeast Asian, 3% West Asian, 3.2% Black, 1.9% mixed race. And but Markham, you will see, Markham is a very multicultural city. When you have something like the Pacific Mall that's very, very oriental and very, very, you know, I don't know, Asian-like. And then you also have a very, very slick, petite little area like the J-Town Japanese shopping center. If you haven't been there, they have Wagyu beef, like a Wagyu steak for like $300 Canadian. But you know, it's authentic, it's real. If you're looking for some fancy dinner, go to the J-Town or the Little Japan. We have a Chinatown. I call that the Japanese town. And then at the same time, we also have something that is very traditional. This is Main Street Union View, a very well-preserved community in Markham. And Markham has it all. It has a good blend of, you know, different culture. And this is Cathedral. I took this picture from like the Cathedral town. Well, not my picture, but this is the famous cathedral that you drove by at Major Mackenzie and Woodbine. You can see it off the highway. And I believe this is a Coptic Catholic church. So all this type of infrastructure, buildings, religious symbols are spread all across Markham. Markham is very, very multicultural. Now, going to work, the local employers, the Fortune 500 company, a lot of their offices is situated alongside Highway 7. So if you're to understand Markham, here's a simple rule of thumb that you can rely on. Think Highway 7 and think Highway 404. These two roads are the two, 404 is always a high road, but think of Highway 7 as the young street of Markham. It's the busiest street, and a lot of the major company has their offices open up there. 404 is obviously, you know, from Markham to get to downtown, it only take as little as 15 minutes to get down. Now, for a local worker, anywhere from home to work would be within 30 minutes. Very, very good road, very good infrastructure that the city of Markham has built for us. And for the downtown worker, people that goes to downtown for work, you can hop onto a GO train, you know, go to a nearest GO train station, and 45 minutes, you'll be at Union Station. And here's, oh, you can't see my mouse, otherwise I can show you. On the brown line over there, you see Mountjoy, Markham, Centennial, and Union View. Those are the four major GO train station that is built across the land of Markham. And have you ever heard of this, seen a picture like this? People always say, oh, buy along the subway line, buy along the buy along the subway line. Let's look at some of your favorite neighborhood or subway station and see the prices in there. The blue one indicated the detached, and the orange one, I believe, is indicated the condos. And some of your favorite place. Look at the detached, and on like Sherborne and maybe like Young and Bloor over there. Rosedale, oh my gosh, houses are $2 million a piece or above. And in Markham, well, basically the same logic dictates. The closer that the house is to a GO train station or to a public transportation, the higher the value, the more expensive it gets. But in Markham now, the average is 1.2 million. It hasn't gone as crazy as downtown. A lot of this downtown like subway station, especially, oh my gosh, they are way into the millions. It's very, very scary. School, of course, a lot of people buy Markham because Markham has great school, and there are 3 schools that I want to point out. Number one, this is a French, this is a Catholic school. What's amazing about it, I just found out, it's the number one school out of 3,037 school out there in all Ontario. They are the number one elementary school in all Ontario. That's very impressive. Too bad I can't pronounce the name, it's French. But I have so many clients coming to me and say, Frank, find me a house in Markham that I can use the address to get into this school. I was like, what is this school? This is like French little Catholic school or whatever. Why is it so good? After I looked it up on the internet, it's number one in Ontario. It's crazy. Now, Marfield Public School is ranked number 7 in all Ontario. It's situated at Highway 7 in McCowan, and that's where a lot of the Asian buyers, they love to buy around that intersection. Highway 7 and McCowan, where they can live there, even though the house is a little bit beat up, a little bit old, 50, 60, 70 years old homes, but they live there, you know, partially for the comfort, but mainly is for their children, because the school there is very, very good. Number 7. And a little bit west of that is the Unionville High School, which is another very prestigious names amongst the Asian buyers community. Marfield School, Union High, and that French school that I cannot pronounce the name are the top choices that parents are buying Markham for. Now, when it comes down to entertainment, you know, you have a long day of work and oh no, my internet. Can you guys hear me okay? You have a long day at work, get off work, and you just want to relax. Or you have finally sent your kids to school, or just you know, just picked up your kids, and now you feel like after dinner or after whatever, you feel like having some me time or having some like date nights. Where can you go? Where do you go? Well, for the nature hipster, just like myself, there are so many green, so many nice park in Markham. Just to name a few, the Two Good Pond is very good. And then there's so many water dam. Rouge Park is great for hiking. Right next to Old Finch, by the way, it's crazy if you know about the Old Finch. There are tons of lake. I do a lot of fishing myself. And in Markham, there's treetop trekking too and hiking. There's so many different trails in Markham. Very, very nice. It's a good blend of urban and suburban. Now, the urban indoor, tons of restaurants that you can choose from. I'm going to show you some restaurant in about a minute, right? Bars, gym, water park, cinema, art lounges and stuff, for those who love the indoor. And for the millennial, of course, there's the bubble teas, the cafe, the brunch spots, so many nice brunch spots. The escape rooms, I love escape rooms, the smart one too, especially. And video game cafe, all this Markham has a lot to offer amongst all this. Now, let me show you about some of the must-do in Markham. Have anyone seen this in their life? This could be a culture shock to some of you. Maybe yes, maybe no. What it is a giant lobster tower. Over there, this is offered at a lot of Chinese restaurants in Markham, Scarborough, and Markham, and some Richmond Hills too. Very popular choice. The Chinese people, they love eating their seafood, and this is as extravagant as you can get. It's a tower of pure meat. Over there, what you're looking at right now, there's probably like 20 pounds worth of meat in there. And this is a good comparison of how big that tower is in relation to the girl in the background. Okay, so you can see this the third picture here. Probably, I would say 20 pounds worth of giant lobsters. And each lobster, they are as heavy as big as 7 pounds. Some other stuff that we have to try and do in Markham, which I do on a regular basis, is this thing that just popped up about 5 years ago, Japanese barbecue. And they're everywhere now. This restaurant particularly is Shinta. I go to Shinta for a number of occasions, like date nights or whatever. And I had their Wagyu beef. This is their A5 Wagyu. I don't know. I don't know if they're from Japan, but it's pretty nice. This is a very good experience. It melts in your mouth, and I think it's just an experience that everyone should explore and try. And as you can see, the marbling there, it's amazing. Everyone can cook. It's all you can eat. Well, not the Wagyu, but oh yeah, including Wagyu too. All you can eat. You're giving a little stove there, and it's pretty fun. It's a great idea for a gathering of 4 or 5 people. It's just catching up and eating, feeling your stomach. Some of the stuff is very popular, very more infamous about Markham life. And some of the thing that you might recognize is not as outrageous as the Lobster Tower, but this is a dim sum. Markham has so many good dim sum places and an endless amount of Japanese restaurant. And also I found 2 very authentic pho place in Markham too. And oh, yeah, this you don't know. Many people might know something, might know jerk chicken, but very little people know about jerk pork. Oh, in Markham alone, there are like 3 authentic jerk pork places, and I think there must be a lot more. But jerk pork is a lot better than jerk chicken. And I can't wait to bring you guys there and have you guys try it. If you're into a little bit high-end steakhouse type of vibe, you have the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse over there. I think just like those fancy steakhouses, I mean, your bill can add up to a couple of $100 per person. And this is one of my new favorite Thai food. They're opening more and more Thai restaurants in Markham right now. There's so much to offer. So here's Markham. You have a blend of all these young people. There are so many spots that the young people will hang out. But then at the same time, you also have spot like this, like the Main Street Unionville, where is a 200 years old town, or maybe longer, maybe more than 200 years old little town that is so super nice. When you walk through it, when you're in this community, Main Street Unionville, you don't feel like you're in Canada anymore. You feel like you're in some European country, and it's so nice. You have the young people vibe, and then you also have this peace and quiet and this lovely scenery in Markham. It's such a good blend. But if you're like me, a little bit in between, you're not exactly that young, and you're not at retirement age yet. One of the best thing to do in Markham is brunch. And what I show you here is my friend's cafe that I'm a regular to. It's called like a Corner Cafe. The owner of the Corner Cafe is probably listening in today, but a little shout out to him. It's really good food, really good fusion, and I get my coffee there. And I love their egg Benedict and fried chicken. They probably have the best chicken waffle that I've ever tasted. Anyways, this is we're 15 minutes away to 9, and this is how Markham looked like. As you can see on the picture. Oh, by the way, this picture, I took it from the City of Markham's official website. So they picked this picture. It just paints it perfectly for us. We have the high rise, we have the modern, we have the establishment, yet at the same time, we also have a lot of green, have a lot of residential, single detached homes, and this is a very good representation of what Markham really is. So if you're thinking of moving to Markham, what are your options? If you're young people, Here's an option. I would recommend you to pick the condo or townhouses near the downtown Markham. Why? Because it has a very vibrant downtown entertainment district vibe. There are a lot of young people over there and a lot of startup companies are opening up. So many startup company that is opening in Markham. It's very excited. An average 1+1 condo there costs anywhere between 550 to 620K. And the 20% down payment and 2080 rules apply. You need to save up 110K and borrow $440,000. And in order for you to qualify for a mortgage of $440,000, you need to have an annual income of $63,000 a year, with a 7 times leverage in the typical bank today to get that type of loan to get into that, downtown Markham young people vibe. Now, if you're starting a family, I would suggest you to get a detached or townhouse near the schools. Those are those. Oh man, those. If you you get one of those schools, you never worry that you will never need to worry about running out of buyers. People are hunting down houses detached near those schools, those top 3 schools. They are and the areas along the Highway 7 and Warden intersection. That is the Unionville High School. The Highway 7 and McCowan section. That is the Markview. And the Highway 7 and 9th line, there is another good school there. The 16th and the Warden is the Catholic school. Now, 20% down payment. The average 4-bedroom detached there is 1.15 million, maybe 2. 2080 rule still applies. Down payment 230K, mortgage 920K. The income that you will need to make to afford a lifestyle or for a detached home like that, it's $132,000 or more as a household incomes. That is your income combined with your spouse income. So that way that, and if you split the two, it's almost $66,000. It's just a little bit more than that condo life, and the 2 of you guys can afford a family here detached with a little bit ease. Once you get a little bit further in your career, your income gets higher, it should be no problem at all. Now the luxury life of Markham is this area. You may want to take a picture of this for future research. Is Bayview Glen. Another spot called Devil's Elbow. Oh, that's so cool, man. One of my dream houses is actually in Devil's Elbow. Cachet, Main Street, that include Main Street Unionville and Main Street Markham, the Markham Village. And another spot is the 14th Avenue and the 9th line. Oh my gosh, I think I only have like time to show one. Okay, let me see if I can click into this, if this opens. If it doesn't open, that's too bad. Hopefully it opens. Okay, I am showing you now my dream home. I'm just gonna show you one, okay? This is a house in Devil's Elbow. This home is asking for $5.6 million. I brought a clients in there. I have a high-end clients that are into a giant house like this. Look at the front. It's wrapped around by a beautiful lake, a waterfront. And this is the front gate. You need a little bit of work. The house is a little bit dated. It was built in 1993. But let's look inside. This is the inside of the house. Very, very nice, very gorgeous. Matter of fact, a lot of movies actually came to borrow this house or rent this house for shooting their scene movie. There's a new kitchen that they just built 5 years ago. And there's a music room. The owner of the house is a musician, artist. They are really, really cool. Oh, this is their library. I love their library. It's really super nice. Well, anyways, I'm running out of time, and let's jump back to the presentation. Where am I? Uh-oh, I just got locked out. Hold on. Close this, close this. Oh, sorry guys. Well, sometimes it happens. Feel free to ask your question in the chat. Anyways, let's go back to, we're almost at the end. Oh yeah, the lobster. Almost at the end, and I want to share with you guys a cute little idea. As an idea is unique to Markham. It's a very good idea for rental income. It's called a coach house, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this. It's very unique in Markham because Markham has a lot of laneway detached garages. And so what it is in Markham, a lot of houses build their garages on a separate, in the back of the home. The city of Markham is going crazy for approving for people because it helps to provide more affordable housing for people. And if you have a garage now and it fits the category, and you want to like do an add-on on top of that, the construction cost will be $100,000. However, that $100,000 will be added to the value of your house right away. Now, the rental income per month. So on top of your garage, if you make an apartment building like this, apartment unit with 2 bedrooms, you can rent it out anywhere between $1,400 to $1,600 a month. And some of the new homes are coming out with already built-in coach houses. Now this is downtown Toronto. This is a very, of course, to build this house, to convert it, your garage, your downtown laneway homes, a garage like this, a laneway garage like this, will cost a little bit more than $100,000, but it's very slick. Look at the inside. Look at look at this loft style that they have built out, and this is happening in downtown Toronto, left and right. But a lot of people are. But there are not that many opportunities. The opportunity are really in Markham. And here is a picture example of how it looks like inside of a Markham coach house. As you can see here, there's a washroom in the middle. There is the kitchen over there on the right, and it comes with your dryer, washer, and 2 bedrooms, and also a living room. Very, very nice spot. Now let's look at the number and how does this work. If you own a regular detached and your house value is on, just average house, $1.2 million, your mortgage would be $960,000, and that would be around $4,685.07 per month. And I did this calculation on TD Bank's website. Now, if you rent out 2 bedroom in the basement, it will add $1,400 per month of rental income to you. And if you subtract that from your net mortgage will be $3,285 per month. Owning a detached home, $1.2 million worth, okay? So if you rent out your basement, your monthly mortgage is $3,200. What if you own a detached and you have a coach house? Look at the number difference. You might want to take a picture of this if you like. So the house, because you rent out the coach, the 2-bedroom coach, that adds around, conservatively speaking, $1,400 monthly income. And now you take your mortgage, $4,600, and you minus the $2,800 rental income coming in. And your monthly mortgage becomes only $1,885 per month. Well, feel free to take a picture of this. This is even though this is just a rough estimate, we didn't factor in all the property tax and all those stuff. But on the surface, this is how affordable it is with a home that has a coach house. And for the investor, here's an investor. The number looks a little bit more, fun. The house value is still $1.2 million home, and mortgage still the same, rent 1,400 from the basement, 1,400 from the coach house, but your main house, you can't now, if you're an investor, you rent out the main house too. And look at the net rent income that you can get from here. It's $5,400 of income minus your mortgage, $4,685, and you're netting around a positive cash flow of $715 a month. If you're an investor and you rent out the main house as well, this is a good investment. Nonetheless, Markham detached home is very desirable, so the appreciation on the house is very, very good too. So the most attractive area in Markham right now are two areas. One is Union View. Why? Lots of condo, lots of pre-construction high-rise, buy close to the top ranking school, your house is guaranteed easy to sell. Location is right next to, it's a very prime location in Union View. Best convenient, best food selection, and also best, most indoor entertainment spots. And another area is Cornell. A lot of new construction is happening over there. Markham Stouffville Hospital, Markham's own biggest hospital, is located in Cornell. And things are very reasonably priced, and lots of new development and investment money is pouring into it. And lots of coach house locations too. If you're looking into investing into that type of cash flow that I just showed you, Cornell is a very good spot to show. Now, there's 4 minutes left to the presentation, and as a little token of appreciation of you joining in today, I want to share with you a financial GPS that I have discovered a long time ago that can help people to pay off debts real quick. So what it is a lifetime personal financial advisor. Imagine you have an Einstein sitting next to you or for life, but he is good at math, and he's a computer. He won't die. So why? Because I want to help people to pay off their debt and become truly debt-free faster. And how to do that? We use pure math algorithm to beat the game. And what it is computer software, and the return of your investment looks something like this. So imagine what I'm pitching you today as a financial plan. So would you think this is a good plan if today I ask you today to invest one time, $5,000 a day, but you can make $50,000 in 10 years? That's an annual ROI of 25.89%. Do you think that's a good deal? What about you invest $5,000 today and make $100K in 10 years with an annual ROI of 34.93%? Do you think that's a good deal? What if I can tell you that I can even help you to same one time $5,000 today, but you can make $150,000 in 10 years. If every year you make $15,000. That's an annual ROI of 40.51%. Would you think that's a good deal? And that's the type of power that this financial plan that I just told you about has. If you have any inquiry, you can always find me. This is the end of the presentation, or actually, this is a presentation, Zoom call. You can find me on Instagram at 3 Cents Story, or you can email me any question you have, frankzanghome@gmail.com. And that concludes our presentation today about Markham. I hope you take something away. I hope the message get across that in Markham, one thing is so unique about Markham, that is the coach house idea. If you're an investor, look deep into coach house and have your real estate agent, whoever they are, to help you with that. And that's it for me. And let's see if the other would want to say something. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. That was insane. That was so good. I think everybody agrees with me because there is 0 questions that was asked. I think you covered everything about Markham. So thank you. Can we just get some love for Frank in the chat or something? Maybe like clap or something, show your videos, give him some love. But, thank you, Frank. Thank you for everything. We're always looking forward to your knowledge, everything that you give to us. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think that concludes the end. Any last words, Frank? Anything else you want to say? Everybody's giving you some thank you, some happy faces.
Oh, email me if you have any question. Other than that, have a wonderful evening, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.